Hello everybody and welcome on in. I am Ezra Garnet.
And I'm Smelly, the Meli bee.
I'm joined by the lovely Meli bee, of course. And today we are actually going to be going into and reacting to the Book of Mormon Broadway play. Now, yeah, the main reason for this is because me and Meli are both members of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, also known as the Mormon Church.
Yep.
And every single time we talk to, at least every single time I've told somebody that's not a member of our church, they're like, oh, you mean like the Broadway musical? And I'm just like, wait, what? What are you talking about? And again, I've heard this from other friends, other stuff like that. So we thought we would take it upon ourselves to go and actually watch a few of the musical numbers to see what everybody's kind of talking about. Because within our church community, everybody's like, oh, no, the Broadway musical is just, it's wrong. It's bad. It's this. And it's gotten Tonys, it's gotten this. And so, and again, it's also by the creators of South Park. So they're not exactly members of the church. So we thought it'd be kind of cool to at least see the outside perspective. And some things I do want to address before we get this reaction video underway is that, again, our hope and point of this video is for us to kind of get another perspective on how our church is perceived. And for us to clear up any real misunderstandings about church policies, but we aren't going to go into depth about the beliefs, just kind of more simple yes and no and elaborate as needed.
I like how we said in the beginning that we weren't going to get into certain beliefs and stuff, but oh well.
Oh well. Hello. And we are not speaking on behalf of the church.
No.
No, we're not. We're not full-fledged church representatives. Yes, we are members and we do practice and live the teachings of the church. Mm-hmm. But everything we say is our experience and our opinions. Yeah. If you want to know specific things about the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, please go check out their website at www.churchofjesuschrist.org.
Yeah.
So with that out of the way, let's go ahead and dive on into the video. Okay, here is the first opening one. This is videos from the 2012 Tony Awards, the Book of Mormon Musical opening number called Hello.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Hello, my name is Elder Price, and I would like to share with you the most amazing book.
Yeah.
Okay,
it happens.
That might be a little too accurate.
Yeah, we're just so excited to share, you know?
And again, okay, so one term I'm going to bring up here right now is kind of a slang term within the church community. This is very much a Peter priesthood, aka this is this is a good example of it. Some that's very much like, all right, guys, let's go teach. Yeah, it's very cringy, and I'm just, anybody that's actually like that, I'm just like, oh, we can't be friends. We just no.
Yeah, and I feel like part of it is because these are 18, 19-year-old boys, a lot of the time leaving home, exploring new places, and they're given this purpose, this mission, and so a lot of people are excited. Some people get a little too excited.
And again, what I nickname this the Utah bubble, is because, again, with the church being so prominent in Utah, where again just about everybody there is a member of the church, everybody's answers are always it's all aligned. In more respect, this is where I can get where they're like, oh, it's kind of a creepy cult. It's because it's just everybody follows it, and it can be a little creepy. I will be fully honest. But this is where once they finally get out of Utah, once they experience the world, and again, this is where a mission can really do this, is they are able to experience kind of that adversity where being a member of the church and part of society isn't normal. And so they get they get to truly really face what the world kind of thinks of us and begins to challenge that belief.
Mm-hmm. And that's why missions can be really cool, because you're getting out of what you're used to your whole life, and you're put into you're paired with another person who you've never met, and you kind of have to learn together how to live on your own and how to function as an adult.
Not just even as an adult, but work with somebody who's
Yeah.
very different.
Hmm.
So, but this is where, again, we've at least, I actually saw this kind of first opening number a little bit in the, like, for schooling. They kind of showed a little bit of this for, again, for audio engineering purposes. But, yeah, let's just kind of continue watching a little bit.
Hello, my name is Elder Grant. It's a book about America a
eyes.
long time ago.
The eye contact.
It
Eye contact
has
is weird.
so many awesome parts.
You simply won't believe how much this book can change your life.
Sorry, I love James Earl Jones with the Darth Vader picture ready to autograph.
It's the smile too.
The smile too.
I think a lot of people from our church are known for like being very smiley, being very friendly and outgoing.
And very much involved with very much big fans of Star Wars and Disney. Like, I think those are the standard, like,
The
stereotypes.
stereotypes.
Hello, my name is Elder Green. I would like
And actually, okay, real funny thing, my best friend's last name is Green. So he was actually called Elder Green. So that's what's funny.
That's funny.
So actually, yeah, no, he's the reason why he's just like, I got so many comments on like, oh, like the Broadway play is because there is an Elder Green in this opening song.
Oh no.
It's just kind of funny.
to share with you this book of Jesus Christ. Hello, my name is Elder Young. Hello. Did you know that Jesus lived here in the USA? You
You're so
can
happy.
read all about it now. Hello, in this nifty
Why do
book.
they
it's
all sound
free,
like
no, you don't
SpongeBob?
have to
Yeah, they also sound like super SpongeBob-y kind of characters.
Yeah.
And I think it's just because, again, when you look at the SpongeBob archetype, he's always happy-go-lucky. And that's what I
True.
think they're trying to portray in a very comedic way.
I'm ready! I'm ready! I'm ready!
So, but no. And yes, the part of the Book of Mormon is a story about how Jesus Christ came to visit the United States.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just more on like he visited, he didn't live. I think that's a gross exaggeration, but it's so just go again. This was the brief part. I just want to kind of clarify a little bit. Is that after Jesus's basically crucifixion within the church, the hard belief and part of the story of the Book of Mormon is that Christ then came over to the Americas to teach his word, and then he would go back to heaven. So everybody's just like, oh, so a lot of the immediate assumptions is like, wait, so you're saying that Jerusalem was like in America? And no. It's very much like we're talking about a godly being who ascended to heaven and then came back to earth to another continent to teach and then went back to heaven. Like, so that's just one thing I do want to kind of clear up a little bit. Is it a little weird from the outside perspective? Absolutely. Okay.
Yeah.
But
Definitely can be.
But yeah, so I just want to kind of clear up that belief just a little bit.
Hey.
Hello! Hello. My name is Elder Smith, and can I leave this book with you for you to just peruse?
Hello! Hello!
Hello! I'll just leave it here. It has a lot of information you can really use.
Hello.
Hi.
My name is
Jesus Christ.
You have a lovely home.
Hello.
What the heck? Okay.
I feel they've all got that golden retriever energy.
What is the creepy golden retriever
know, but,
energy? Like, oh my
It's
gosh.
kind of funny because you can just tell that they've been standing at that door waiting for a long time.
Like, it's very
and-
much the and you're like, you secretly have bodies in your basement.
Oh boy.
Like, it gives off that vibe.
It is very over the top for sure.
It is so over the top, but again, that's part of comedy, is that it's going over the top.
It's an amazing book.
Bonjour.
Very catchy though.
Me llamo Elder White.
Are these your
This
kids?
book gives you the secret to eternal life.
Sound good?
Eternal life. Jesus Christ is super fun.
Ding dong.
And if you let us in, we'll show you how it can be done.
No thanks. You sure? Oh, well.
That's fine.
Goodbye.
Have fun in hell.
Hey now.
Okay, that's straight up no. Okay.
Yeah, no, we don't even really believe in there
Like-
isn't really
Yeah.
or we don't really believe in a hell. in the first place.
Yeah, like honestly, this is like one of the things that, again, this one I'm going to say is like our like part of personal belief and part of everything.
And this is where a lot of members of our church do believe different things. Like we do have similar beliefs and like similar I want to say like grounds almost, but
Again, the same general fundamental baseline.
yeah,
But I've really never met, again, actually, I really don't know anybody in the church personally that would say, oh, you're going to hell. Like, just no, that's
growing up, I actually used to think that there was a hell, but now I'm like, no, it's more of an outer darkness.
Yeah.
And there's different stages of heaven that we believe in, but
because again, just going into kind of how we believe. Okay, this is where, again, we not differ from the church, but this is just kind of our experience. And this is kind of the thing that we love with this, is that as you get to know Christ, as you know about Christ's teachings, everybody has their own version of heaven. Okay. Like, again, for me, my version of heaven isn't like, oh, we got Rice Krispie treats for you guys.
Hi, welcome to heaven, brother. You followed the Mormon faith, and so you've been let in.
Actually, I'm just stopping by.
Well, you picked a great time. We've got cookies and punch, and we're just about to start playing charades.
It's more like, again, you got family members nearby. You got people you can go and see and visit and that kind of stuff. And that for us is a little bit more of like what heaven is like friends and family are close by. You can go see, you can be in eternal bliss with them. That's how I've always viewed heaven. But there are different degrees of heaven. For some people, it's that. Other people, it's just being able to be lost in nature. Like, and again, this is where, when it comes down to fundamentals, we believe that everybody has their own level of comfort.
And this is where we as members don't even know the full extent of it. Like we don't know everything about heaven. A lot of this, like, we're still kind of learning as we go. And this is where faith comes in. Like there's still so much that we don't know. But this is where having faith is important, because while we might not know those things or see those things, sometimes you just have to have that faith that it is there and that there are things out there that we just don't understand yet.
Correct. And this is, again, a huge thing about faith. Faith is about believing in things that are not seen. And since we really don't know what's in the next life for a 100% surety, all we can do is we can go on our own spiritual journey and learn for ourselves and have the spirit or our instinct kind of guide us to where we find our truth. And that's the thing when it comes to, as a missionary, was the main thing we always pushed for. At least I know that's what I always stood for, is the reason why we give out the Book of Mormon is just like, okay, you've heard all these bad things about the Book of Mormon. Well, have you actually read it? And then actually have you then asked if you believe it is true or not? So it's always a, like, you know what? I've always been kind of on the more science end of it, or at least on when it comes to experimentation, because especially when it comes to science, you got to experiment. You got to find out the truth for yourself. You can't just take someone's word at it, which I know that's where a lot of members of our church struggle, is because a lot of people like that grow up in the church, they just go, oh, it's because it's what my parents told me. They never really went, tested it, and found out the truth for themselves.
Yeah.
And that's always the biggest thing and the reason why I liked our church is because it's just like, if you are questioning your faith, that is perfectly fine. Question it, but be open to trying to receive those answers. Don't just diminish it. Just be open to the answers. And again, that's all it is. It's find out for yourself. That's always the tagline we have, is find out for yourself.
I like how we said in the beginning that we weren't going to get into like certain beliefs and stuff, but oh well.
Oh well. Hello.
Hello.
So, okay, anyway, back to the video.
You simply won't believe how much this book will change. This book will change his life. This book will change your life.
Hello, would you like to change religions? I have a free book written by Jesus.
No, Elder Cunningham, that's not how we do it. You're making things up again. Just stick to the approved dialogue. Elder Smith, show me.
Hello.
Hello.
My name is
Elder Cunningham.
We would share with you this book
He's
of
trying
Jesus
to-
Christ.
Hello.
Just take this book. It's free for you. You see, you simply won't believe how much this book will change your life. Will change your life. Change your life, so you won't burn in hell.
I love that transition.
The transition's funny. Like that's funny. That
Yeah,
is
that was clever.
fantastic.
This book you'll see that there's another way to spend eternity with friends and family. We can fully guarantee that this book will change your life. 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 The Book of Mormon.
Beautiful.
Yeah. Okay, so that again, the first song is very catchy, but yeah, those couple inaccuracies.
It's very, very over exaggerated for sure.
But again, that's where this is a comedy.
It's a musical.
It's a musical comedy about our church. So yes, everything is gonna be over the top, over exaggerated.
Some of it is kind of accurate though, to a degree.
Oh,
'Cause
yeah.
I know there are some missionaries out there that are like that. And so, but for me at least, I'm like, that's kind of cringy.
Oh yeah, no, it is super cringy. Like that's the thing in all this is they are trying to make this so cringy.
Yeah.
But because again, that's where it's funny. Is cringe can be funny.
Mm-hmm.
So okay, so now we're on to the next song. We're just going to do 3. Okay, so this is song number 2. It's called 2 by 2.
Ay.
So let's go ahead and get into this.
Any idea where they're sending you, Elder Price?
Well, of course, we don't really have any idea of where they'll send us, but I pray I'm sent to my favorite place in the whole world.
Well, I'm sure if you prayed for a location, Heavenly Father will make it happen. You're like the smartest, best, most deserving elder the center's ever seen.
Oh, yeah. Thanks, guys.
Okay, want to clarify this because this is not how the procedure works.
Yeah.
So okay, when you're getting your mission call, basically how we're gonna get called to serve is at least this is the way it works for me as a proselyting missionary. Because again, I was an elder. I did go to the Missionary Training Center, the MTC, and this is how it works. Is first off, they just recently, I say recently, it was a decade ago. Back in 2013, they changed the mission age from 19 to 18 for men, and for women, it was 21 to 19. So they changed those ages around. And what happens is when I was in high school, I filled out the paperwork, filled out like all the stuff that, again, the church needs to, like, again, you fill out the paperwork. Once you submit the paperwork within a month or so, they will then send you a mission call. That's where you will learn where you're going to be called to serve. So for me, I served in the Sendai, Japan mission. So when I got that mission call, I got that letter, I got all my family members around, and I read where I was going to go serve. And then from there, I was just waiting till I graduated, and then it tells you when to report to the MTC, the Missionary Training Center. So when you go to the MTC, everybody you're interacting with is going to either the same kind of location, in regards to like everybody that I was with was going to Japan. Most of the people actually I was with was going to Tokyo. Only my companions, because I had 3, were going to Sendai, Japan. So everybody, when they go to the MTC, they know where they're going to go. It's not a random lot. Like you go there, they teach you like, all right, you're going to go here. And then they send you, they're not prepared. They spend that time in the MTC to help train you and help prepare you for what is to come. Mm-hmm. I know you served a service mission.
Yeah, so that's a little bit different than a proselyting mission or where you go and teach about the Book of Mormon and whatnot. But service missions, you basically are assigned the same area where you are living. So yeah, for me, I was living in Arizona, so I was called to serve in Arizona. And then basically what you did is you would do like community stuff. Basically what the mission is, like you would do a whole bunch of service. I know I covered quite a few areas like Gilbert, Phoenix, Mesa, Queen Creek. I was kind of all over the place, but we got to serve at a like equine horse therapy place. That was really fun. I got to serve at a performing arts center. And what's cool too is that they look at your skills and they look at what you're good at or stuff that you want to get better at, and they will send you to those places to either do what you're good at or learn something new.
Yeah, and so within the MTC for more of the proselyting stuff, so again, I was in there for 9 weeks because I had to learn Japanese. So they for those foreign languages that are tougher, like Japanese and Chinese, you're in there longer. For those that are serving English speaking, like again,
Like me.
like like Meli, and actually like my friend Elder Green, who actually got called to serve in Salt Lake City of all places. He was only there for a week or two, and that's more to teach kind of like, okay, these are how to approach these things. And again, actually in the last song, we heard like basically the voice from above saying like, no, Elder Cunningham, you gotta stick to the pre-approved script. Which,
Actually, yeah, was that supposed to be like
I think,
God or
I'm not
the
sure.
presidency?
I think
or
it's supposed to be
bishop?
like the mission president, so to speak. I think, but and actually back, I want to say back in the 80s on, they actually had like basically a lesson script they had to follow. Where nowadays, it's not that. Instead, it's more like, okay, here's kind of the outlines and points to hit. Like I'm going to relate it to Dungeons and Dragons, because as a dungeon master, there are some plot points you want to hit, but you are open to the player's experiences, what the players choose and what they go from there. And so that's how, again, you tailor the lesson, is that you address those questions about the topic. Like one of the first lessons is, of course, about the church's history, about the restoration of the church. So you address those questions about that subject, and then you tailor the lesson around that. And again, sometimes the lesson will take multiple times, just so that way, because again, the whole point is to clear up understanding and to be truthful about our experiences and about the history of the church.
And I know recently, instead of like trying to teach everybody as much as possible, they've been starting to go, instead of like focusing on that as much, focusing more on serving the people that they're meeting and teaching and getting to know them better and answering their questions. Like if they have any questions about our church or just about like literally anything. And
So
I love that.
yeah, so it's not like, oh, we have to follow the script.
Yeah, it's not like like imagine if they had a question like, could you tell me I can't even think of a good example, but like, is Jesus real or something like that? And then like it's not like the missioary would be like,
you gotta wait till after the
well,
lesson.
Joseph Smith.
Exactly.
No.
It's very much more on like you always gotta address the needs of needs of who you're teaching. And again, any teacher can tell you that is you have your lesson plan, but if kids have questions, you gotta address them, is because it's
not
how
like,
they learn.
You don't want to be like, hold that question or hold that thought and we'll get to that in like the second or third lesson down the line. No, it's I feel like they are doing a lot better nowadays.
Yeah.
Which is where like none of us are perfect. I really hope there aren't people out there saying, like from our church, saying that they are perfect and that they're like all knowing and amazing, because that's not how we see ourselves. And this is where everybody is different, and we're not trying to represent our church or anything, but this is where everybody is different. No one's perfect. We're all here to learn.
Yes, again, we're all here to learn, we're all here to grow, and even going into a little bit of the church foundation that's again kind of the point on why we came to earth. It's why we're doing the things we do. It's so that way we can learn, grow, and be better.
A lot of it is sharing experiences.
Okay. Should we get back to the song?
Yeah, sorry.
It's all good. Okay.
Sorry, guys.
You're going to get a lot of tangents with this because, yeah.
The most important part of a Mormon kid's life is his mission.
A chance to go out and help heal the world, that's my mission. Soon I'll be off in a different place, helping the whole human race. I know my mission will be something incredible. Elders, form a line and step forward when your name is called. Elder Young.
Yes, sir.
Your mission, brother, will be Elder Grant.
Oh, that's me.
And your mission location is Norway.
Oh, wow, Norway, land of gnomes. And trolls.
Okay.
Well,
So that's not exactly how companions are assigned. And actually, okay, so during the mission, you get multiple companions. Okay. And it's not like you go out. So again, I had my missionary training center companions, my MTC companions. And we were actually what we nicknamed a tripan because there was 3 of us, just because the way the numbers were. One of us had to get a set of 3. So it was us and And once we got to the mission field, we would get a trainer who would teach us, kind of like show us the area, kind of the ins and outs, the scheduling. And again, they would help train us. Once we were done training, we could, and again, this was up to the mission president's discretion. But yeah, you would change companions, you would move to different areas. So again, what's assigned at the MTC, it's just for the MTC. Basically, it's a training buddy. Someone to help. So with me, it was with the Japanese language. It's someone that we can practice Japanese with, someone that we can do scripture study with. It's basically gives you a friend for you to counsel, to talk, and really kind of bounce ideas off each other.
Mm-hmm.
So this whole just like, all right, elders, line up. I'm going to assign you your companion. It's not like that.
Yeah.
Actually, I would say back in the early days of the church, yes, it would be something like this.
Mm-hmm.
Very early days where, again, you would go to a conference where actually they would randomly assign members of the church to go and serve. So that, and actually that one wasn't like, they didn't do young men. They would actually do like actual like husbands and send them off. Mm-hmm. So they would actually leave their family for a time to go and proselyte, and then they would return home. And these missions would last like 4 to 5 years.
Yep.
So
a lot has changed.
A lot has changed. And again, as time goes on, things will continue to change.
2 by 2 or door to door, cause God loves Mormons and He wants some more. Your mission is your sacrifice. We are the army of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. 2 by 2,
I like how they like almost whisper that last part.
So, and again, that's always the tricky thing, and why
it is such a long name.
It is a long name. It is a very long name, and it's something that the church has recently been trying to push a lot more recently, is because the biggest part of our church and the biggest part of misunderstandings is that we believe that we
worship Mormon or something.
We worship Mormon, or we worship Joseph Smith, and that's not true at all. We, again, in our name, we are the Church of Jesus Christ. We believe in Christ.
Is the most important part of our name. Yeah.
Correct. Joseph Smith is just the guy who helped restore it. He was, again, I would equate it to, he was a prophet, but not, and president and leader of the church. But no, we do not worship him. We do not worship the prophets. The prophets are merely...
It's more of a respect thing.
Correct. They are the Lord's mouthpiece. They are, and basically it's what they are saying is coming from this spirit. It's coming from the Lord himself. So it's more that kind of relationship, not like we bow down to the prophet. No, like... It's more on, he is the Lord's mouthpiece, and it is up for us, and it is up to us to listen to his words, listen to his counsel. And we still use our freedom of will, our free agency to choose right from wrong for us and what works for our lives.
Journey with you where we'll go. We're fighting for a cause, but we're really, really nice. We are the army of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints.
Elder White and Elder Smith.
Oh boy, I knew we'd be paired together.
Your location will be France.
France, land of pastries and turtlenecks. 2 by 2, I guess it's you and me. We're all to reach across the land and sea. Satan has a hold of France. To knock him off his perch, we are the soldiers of the army of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints.
Elder Cross and Elder Castor, you will be serving in Japan.
Oh, Japan, land of soy and Herod tea.
Elder Harris and Elder Brown.
Heavenly Father, where will I go on my mission? Will it be China or Mexico on my mission? It could be San Fran by the Bay or Australia.
No, we don't get to choose.
No, we don't get to choose. Like, not at all. All of this, it is assigned. And because again, just going back to my friend's story who got called to Salt Lake City, again, going into high school, he had a 4.0 in German. Like he's very, and at this point, he's multilingual. He knows Russian, German, he's studying French and Spanish.
He knows so many
languages. Like he is very, again, when we're talking about get the tongues, he's got it. He can learn languages and he picks them up so easily. So when he was getting his mission call, again, I was listening on the phone because at that time, me and my family were planning on relocating to Vegas. And when he read Salt Lake City, we're like, what? Because I was like, dude, it would be great. Because again, I was making jokes because I got my mission call prior to him. I was like, dude, I'm going to be in Japan. It would be awesome if you're in Germany. So we were making a joke. It's like, yeah, we're the Axis powers. Which, and again, my friend, to add more to this joke, my friend's got blonde hair and blue eyes. So him going to Germany, we're like, yeah, you perfect race. So again,
oh my gosh.
But again, we were high school students. Okay. We had these jokes. But again, so it's totally randomly assigned. I personally felt like I knew I was going to go to Japan, but that's a personal story for another day.
I think at the time when I turned in my mission papers, I wanted to go to France, actually, France or Japan. And I ended up staying in Arizona. And this is where you really just don't know. Like, I think a lot of it is just kind of trusting in the Lord because he probably knows where you need to go better than you do. And like, while you might want to go to a place super bad and you might think that you're like perfect for it, sometimes God has other plans for you.
Exactly. And actually, even talked to him after his mission. He's just like, you know what, that was the best. Like I was called to serve in the best mission.
Your friend?
Yeah, my friend. Yeah. He's just like, he loved his mission in Salt Lake City. Don't get me wrong, he gained like 50 pounds because again, being in like, I'm going to say the capital of the church, everybody feeds you. So he got meals every night. Whereas in Japan, there's hardly any members. And I learned how to cook. So that,
which is a great skill.
It is a great skill to have, but it's very different experiences.
And I'm so glad because your curry is amazing.
Okay.
Where they say good day. But I pray I'm sent to my favorite place. Orlando, I love you, Orlando, SeaWorld and Disney, golfing.
And you can't do any of those things on your mission.
Yep.
No, seriously. Okay. This, I'm going to, again, we're doing a lot of caveats and breakoffs. When I was in Japan, it was so hard because I could not go into like, okay, I could not watch anime. I could not read manga. I could not do any of those things. I was not allowed to do it because it would be a distraction for me and from the spirit. So yeah, you can't go to Disneyland, can't go to amusement parks. You can't even go swimming. And that's actually more for a safety reason. It's because if somebody can't swim, they're going to be at a risk.
Yeah.
So like, again, just like, yeah, going to SeaWorld, going to Disney. No, you straight up, you can't do that. Like that's a huge no-no.
That's the hard part.
Yeah.
About getting sent to a cool place.
So don't get me wrong. I did pick up some like anime little tchotchkes, like again, like, oh my gosh, what are they called? The gotcha machines. I whenever I had spare change, I used and abused it. I got like a Naruto, because I think at that time it was like the 50-year anniversary of Shonen Jump. So I got like a Naruto with him holding the scroll for the sage.
Nice.
And on the side of it, it said basically Shonen Jump 50 years. I got that one. I got Luffy holding up a chunk of meat that said 50 year. So again, I got some little stuff, because again, little stuff is fine, but I could not get a full-fledged manga. I could not get full-fledged anything until I was about ready to go home.
Missions can be pretty strict.
Missions can be very strict, which is where, again, there's a lot of adversity in that alone personally.
Mm-hmm.
I think the biggest thing I was able to do was, like, again, on P days, me and my companion at the time, we would actually go and get Pokemon cards, and we would do like Pokemon battles on our P days, just as a way to kind of like unwind, to decompress. Like, that's what we would do for a bit.
Okay.
So I have a pretty big collection of Japanese Pokemon cards.
He does.
And actually, one of the cool things we were able to do for my birthday is when we went to Sendai, which is the basically big city in the region. We went to a Pokemon Center. It is a store all dedicated to Pokemon. So we were able to swing by there, just kind of look around, and everybody got me like Pokemon card packs for my birthday.
Dang.
So again, there is like some like leeway here, but it's not like, oh, I can grab manga and just read manga. No, it was very much.
You had certain times where you could, like on P days, where you have more freedom to do what you want to do.
Mm-hmm.
But most of the time, like the rest of the week, was pretty hardcore, pretty strict.
Yeah,
and
it's
very
much
busy.
Very busy. Very much got to do this. And with where being in Japan, and it's very different area to area, because within the Sendai mission, it covers like the whole north area of Japan, not Hokkaido, not the little island up top, but the northern section. And where I was at the very bottom, and we would actually have to commute up to Sendai if we were going to do like zone conferences or companion exchanges or anything like that. So it was a 4-hour bus ride for us. And on my birthday, it was actually lined up on a P day, and we had to go to a zone conference. And so what we did was, in the morning, we did our grocery shopping, we did everything we needed to. Then we hopped on the bus to Sendai, and we spent a few extra hours in Sendai. We actually went to a cake cafe for dinner.
What?
Yeah, it was really cool. And from there, then afterwards, we're like, okay, now we'll finish our trek over to Yamagata. So it was, again, so there are ways to celebrate it even within the constraints of the mission, but we never went to Tokyo Disney. We never went to an amusement park. We went to just like normal parks as a way to like exercise and have fun that way.
Mm.
But again, amusement parks, putt, any of that, no, that big no.
Yeah.
Elder Christ, yes sir. Your mission brother will be Elder Cunningham.
That's me!
And your mission location is Uganda.
What?
Uganda! Cool! Where is that?
Africa.
A boy like Lion King!
2 by 2, and now it's time to go. Our passion with the wheels gonna start the show. Our structure clean and pressing, our haircuts are precise. We are the army of the church. We are the army of the church of Jesus Christ.
Dance break.
Yeah, dance break. Time to dance.
2 by 2, we march on with the greatest history. Everyone all across the planet Earth. And that's the beauty of the mission song. The purpose of the mission of the soldiers of the army of the church of Jesus Christ.
Again, it's a pretty good song.
Yeah.
Pretty funny,
They're
catchy.
pretty catchy, yeah.
Yeah, they're very catchy, but again, that's Broadway musicals.
Yeah.
And the whole 2 by 2 thing is, you proselyte 2 by 2.
Mm-hmm.
And mostly it's a it's also a safety thing. It's because if you were to go somewhere by yourself and start preaching anything, you'd probably be attacked and maybe killed, especially depending on where you're being sent.
Yeah.
So just the 2 by 2 is so that way you got each other's backs. It's so that, again, it's like, think of like cops. Cops they go in partners. They go in squads of 2. So again, it's very much that same idea. It's someone that can hold you accountable, and you can hold them accountable, and you can protect each other.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the point of the 2 by 2 thing. That, and there's, again, when we talk about like the church and truth is set in 3s, what it's supposed to be is that basically the missionaries will bear their testimony of their truth, and then the Spirit is the third person, the third being that bears testament, bears, again, tells the truth as well, bears that truth as well. So that's kind of the whole idea. So if you're not feeling the Spirit with these two elders or two sisters also talking to you, that's where it's all about the truth.
Yeah, and this is where we're not, the missionaries themselves, they're not really the ones supposed to be doing the teaching. They're the keys almost,
Well,
or not really the keys. What's the word I'm trying to
say
think of?
they're not the ones converting.
Instruments. They're the instruments, and the Spirit is the one that is supposed to be speaking the truth. And I guess I don't know what I'm trying to say.
I say it's very much like, again, it's not the missionaries that are doing the conversion. They're not the ones saying that, they're not the ones that are making you join the church. They're simply just there to add their testimony, to share their experience about.
Spirit's not trying to make you join the church either. Nobody's trying to make you join the church. Hopefully, it should definitely be on your own accord.
It's your choice. It's your
If anything, the Spirit is the thing that's going to be testifying to you, and through the Spirit, you should be able to know for yourself whether or not it's true.
Correct. So it comes down to that, and it's always down to your choice. Okay, so now the third
We are
son,
huge believers in agency.
very big believers of agency. So third one is you and me, but mostly me.
Elder Price, your mission brother is Elder Cunningham.
Hello.
Oh, okay. This is from the actual Broadway. Okay.
Yeah.
Because I believe that's Josh Gad.
Olaf?
Yeah, Olaf.
Yeah.
Because I know he, I want to say, made his big break on the Book of Mormon musical.
Hi.
Yeah, I can hear it. He's like, oh boy.
Well, it's just you and me now, brother.
That's right, Elder.
For the next 2 years.
And again, as I said before, you're not stuck with him for 2 years. Okay, that is no.
No, you do transfer.
You do transfer every 6 weeks. Okay, like you get a month and a half. Again, but it may not be every single month and a half. Like for instance, I had a total. Again, I wasn't able to serve for the full 2 years. I was out there for, I want to say 6 or 7 months. And I got a grand total of, technically, if you count the MTC companions, about 4 companions. So I got 2 companions in the MTC. Then I had my first trainer. And then I was stuck with my second trainer until I basically left.
I think I was only there for about half a year too. But yeah, actually, yeah, about half of my mission. And that entire time, service missionaries, at least where I was, we had a little bit of a smaller group, or I guess like a place to pull from. And so I only ended up having 2 companions my entire time.
So again, you do trade companions, and sometimes and again, it's always taught that like when you get a companion that you don't mesh well with, what they try to do is they're like, that companion might be there for you for a teaching moment to either teach you patience, teach you compromise, teach you how to work with someone that you don't necessarily agree with.
Because that's just real life too. Like you're gonna be, whether it's working a job or just literally talking to anybody you meet, like there's gonna be people that you get along with, and then there's gonna be people that you absolutely can't stand.
Oh yeah.
And that is what I like about missions and companions, because sometimes they are teaching you good skills and good lessons for real life.
Yeah, it teaches you more real life skills. And this is why, like, again, in the song before, they're like, this is one of the most important things a young man can do, is because in every respect, and actually I even believe, oh my gosh, Matt Stone, Trey Parker, the creators, South Park creators of this play, even like they talked about this and like within the church as like a coming of age or a a growing ups kind of moment for it. Again, I think they related it to, it's like the LDS version of a bar mitzvah, so to speak, becoming a man or becoming a woman kind of thing. It's just like becoming an adult, because it's more, you're going out into the world, you're going out somewhere to just basically on your own with again funding from the church, but really nothing else.
Mm-hmm.
And again, and that funding is just to provide housing and food. That's about it. That's all it really covers.
Yep.
And so again, it's their first time like going out and experiencing a life, going beyond like the school, going beyond the textbook, and actually getting to know people, talking to people, and understanding where people come from.
Mm-hmm.
We can't go anywhere without each other.
This is creepy.
Okay, and oddly, yes, that is true.
They're making it very creepy.
They make it very creepy, and yes, that is actually accurate. When you have a companion, you can't, you basically can't break eye contact. Like, you have to be at least visible, except for when you're in the bathroom.
Yeah, because that would be awkward.
And even still, they got to be near the bathroom. So that's where when I had my
Say
tripod,
goodbye to your personal space.
Yep. More or less. So actually what we would joke with is with being in a tripan, we said, oh, we can do long distance. Like, for instance, if we were going to do a hallway and we could have someone sitting at the corner who can see both of us, while one of us can go a little bit further. So it's more like, we got a relay station between us. We got somebody to keep an eye on us. So,
yeah.
But yeah, no, you're in close quarters a lot of the time.
Except the bathroom.
Yep, there it is.
That's right.
This is so awesome because all of my friends always end up leaving me.
Aww.
But you can't!
Oh my gosh.
That's right. Now listen, Elder. I like having fun just as much as the next guy.
Oh my gosh.
But life is different now.
You don't know how many times I heard that. Like, okay, guys, I'm all for fun, but we gotta be serious. Like, oh my gosh, I heard that so much.
Yeah.
I was like, well, not dip. Oh, come on, there's balance in all things, okay?
Mm-hmm.
We're men now. We have to prove that we are worthy.
Worthy of what?
It's a good
Of
question.
everything Heavenly Father has promised us in the afterlife.
The afterlife.
Oh my gosh, I'm just hearing Olaf.
I know.
I've always had the hope that on the day I go to heaven, the Heavenly Father will shake my hand and say, "You've done an awesome job, Kevin. Now it's our time to go out and set the world's people free. And we can do it together, you and me, but mostly me."
Oh, you guys are a team.
Yeah, you gotta be a team. And again, I know this is like they're trying to show that again. Elder Cunningham, Olaf, is not like the most scholarly individual.
Yeah.
And so Elder Price, who's very scholarly, who grew up in, again, the Utah bubble, is very knowledgeable in that regards. And Elder Cunningham is just like, I just know this is right.
Yeah. So, he's probably thinking, oh, great, I'm going to have to do this on my own.
Yeah.
This guy is probably not going to do the work, so it's all up to me.
Mm-hmm.
But no, that's not how it's supposed to work. And like, sometimes that can happen, but this is where, again, like there's going to be people that you get along with, and there's going to be people that you can't stand. And it's all about finding ways to work together and to, be a good team.
Yeah, and again, anybody that's done a group project knows that sometimes the workload falls onto you if you want to get the good grade.
Yeah.
So again, that's just kind of how life is sometimes.
You and me, but mostly me, are gonna change the world forever. 'cause I can do most anything.
And I can stand next to you and watch.
Every hero needs a sidekick. Every captain needs a mate. Every dinner needs a side dish.
On a slightly smaller plate.
And now we're seeing eye to eye. It's so great we can agree. The Heavenly Father has chosen you and me. Just mostly me. Something incredible. I'll do something incredible. I'm gonna be the Mormon who changed all of mankind.
My best friend.
It's something I...
And again, okay, so there are guys that really do have this kind of complex.
I'm gonna change the world.
I'm gonna change the world and I can do it by myself. Main
Yeah,
character
no.
syndrome. It's, oh my gosh, it's just, and again, that's where I'm gonna say a lot of these elders that do go and have this idea, they get knocked on their butts the hardest. Because as soon as basically they begin getting that uphill battle of getting the no's, just no after no after no after no, they're like, but I thought I was doing something right. Is this all wrong? And and this is where, again, you got to remember, everybody has their choice. Everybody has their agency. People can and will say no. They have that right. Everybody has that right.
Yep. You're not the chosen one. You're not
You're not the main character in the
Yeah.
world. You're the main character in your story, and within your story, you have trials and tribulations that you need to learn and overcome.
and
But
sometimes you're not the main character in your own story. Sometimes you're the side character and
sometimes you're just supporting, sometimes you're background.
And I think that's where a huge thing to remember when going into a mission is to be humble, to be thankful, to be gracious, because you never know what's going to happen. And we're all puzzle pieces in the bigger picture.
Yeah, we're all just trying to come together and work together and try to help one another.
I foreseen. Now that I'm 19, I'll do something incredible that blows God's freaking mind.
And as long as we stick together, and I stay out of your way, we can change the world forever and make tomorrow a better day.
Mostly
So quit thinking about it and do it. How ready and psyched are we? 'Cause life is about to change for you, and life is about to change for me, and life is about to change for you and me.
but me mostly. And there's no limit to what we can do, me and you. But mostly
The other guy's like, I'm just happy to be here.
I'm just happy to play along.
Yeah.
And again, actually going into that kind of dynamic, even within my mission experience, I had that dynamic where actually I was more like Elder Cunningham, because in every respect for me, I was the trainee. I was learning how things work. And sometimes you will get the trainer who just kind of bullies, that basically tries to like, I will do everything because you basically can't depend on your companion. When actually, well, again, this was kind of a nice little humbling moment for my trainer. We were actually doing basically a test lesson. We were practicing with another pair of elders, our zone leaders, actually. And again, he did lead the discussion about everything. But during that entire time, I was sitting in Seiza. I was basically doing everything humbly. And then I did bear my testimony. I did everything that I was supposed to. And at the very end, they basically said, yeah, Elder Garnet, you absolutely killed it. Your testimony nailed it, and you stuck in the Seiza. You were there. You did everything what you were supposed to. And then he's just like, okay, yeah, Elder Trainer. I'm just going to omit the names here. You did too much of the lesson. You need to let Elder Garnet contribute as well. So
Yeah.
So it was very it was almost like validating to hear that. But it's just, again, there are those kind of dynamics, especially when one is the trainer and one is the trainee.
Mm-hmm.
And again, I knew my companion also had again, a lot of the stuff he did. He was a very prideful individual. And again, he had almost reason to back up his claims. He was very smart. He went to college. He did all this, and I was just fresh out of high school. So
this is where you really do got to be humble, because no matter where you are in your life, there's always going to be something to learn or something to teach others.
Yeah. And again, it always comes into that. And actually, and I want to say because of that, I've been slowly able to, it's like when I know my stuff, I dominate. I step out, I'm able to attack it head on. But when there's stuff that I don't know, I'm very timid. I get very quiet. And again, it's also part of it's part of kind of our introverted nature.
Yeah.
But that's it for the first 3 songs here. So if you guys like this video, if you want us to continue to reacting to some of the Book of Mormon Broadway musical play, let's try to get the numbers up there. Let's see if we can get 1,000 likes on this video. If we can get 1,000 likes, we'll do a part 2.
Oh boy.
Which again, I know that one is a big ask, but yeah,
hey, it's possible.
It is possible. So who knows? But anyway, guys, thank you all so much for tuning in, and we'll catch you guys next time.
Bye.
Bye.